What's up, community? My name is Professor Kane, and this is Relationomics, the show that looks at the uncanny parallels between economics and relationships. Let's get to it. Now today, we're going to be talking a little bit about something called the acid test ratio. That was so dangerous. Now, some of you might not be familiar with the acid test ratio. That, of course, is fine. That's the reason I have a job as a professor. I'm tenured, all right? I'm not leaving anytime soon. Probably. I would totally want to be tenured, though. That'd be sweet. So the way that the acid test ratio works is pretty simple. Basically, investors will use the acid test ratio to find out if a business is able to pay off its short-term bills in the short term with the short-term assets that it has. I'll explain it. It's a fraction. Well, it's not a fraction. It's just a ratio. It's called the acid test ratio. Duh. Up here in the numerator, we have all of your current assets. Current assets include. That's not a word. Not that I know of. So current assets include things like cash, accounts receivable, which is money owed from customers to a business. Short-term investments, usually investments that are going to generate money within the first year, mature within the first year. And inventory. Those are all examples of current assets. And those go in the numerator of our acid test ratio equation. Now, the denominator is just current liabilities. Pretty simple. That's mostly always accounts payable. There are some other things like notes payable if it's within a year. For convenience, for the sake of convenience, we're just going to go with accounts payable. Those are all the short-term liabilities. So now that we know that, let's go through a little bit of an example. Let's assume that a business has $10,000 in cash, $30,000 in accounts receivable, $10,000 in investments, and another $10,000 in inventory. So our current assets would total $60,000. And now let's say the firm owes $30,000 worth of credit to any suppliers, any investors, any loanees, anything like that. The firm owes $30,000 worth of money to those people within the year. Because there's $60,000 in the numerator, $30,000 in the denominator, our acid test ratio is 2. That's what it is. That's actually a really good thing. That means the firm is able, and then more than able, to pay off everything that it owes within the year. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing as a business. Actually, I think 2 is the benchmark of being good. So this firm, it's in pretty good shape. It's doing well. So that's a little bit of how the acid test ratio works. Investors will use that again to see if they actually want to invest in a business or if they're going to have to bail this business out, basically. Now, let's take that and turn it into girls. Yes! Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was going to. Woo! Now, the acid test ratio in relationships is mostly the same, and the mostly will come into play later, but it is mostly the same. Now, current assets, instead of financial current assets, we're going to say things that are really great about the relationship or things that are really great about the other person. So let's say there's a really stable relationship. There's one that we'll just assign points. We don't have to call them points. We can call them farfanugans. We could call these things quid for all I care. Also, this person is really chill. She's not high maintenance. Let's say also she's kind of pretty. Let's say also that your parents like her. Your mom likes her. Actually, that's 2. Mom. Actually, we might want to assign 2 for mom. We love our moms. Let's do one final thing. And her dad likes you. We'll go there. So really good relationship. Pretty. We got a lot of current assets going here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. Actually, let's do one more. Let's say she has this characteristic where she doesn't realize how much other people like her. That's bar none the most attractive quality in a woman. Let's say she has that. That gives us a score of 8 in the current asset side of our acid test ratio. Now that's not bad. We're doing some things right over here. But now let's look at the current liabilities. Now let's say that she's pretty unpredictable. Like not in a good way. Let's say she pulled this card of I'm fine, and that's a regular card for her to use, but she's clearly not fine. That's a latent need. No. But she normally pulls this card. That's not okay. Let's say there's some pretty grisly double standards in this relationship. It's not good. Let's say it's emotionally taxing. There's a difference between being romantic and there being these great emotions. There's also this burden. But in this one, it's more of a burden than a good thing. Let's say she's got friends. She's got 3 friends. They all don't like you. 3 friends or 1. Now, in the current liability side of this equation, we've got 4 for our current liability side of the acid test ratio. We're sitting pretty hot, honestly. This is a good place to be. You got an acid test ratio of 2. You're in a pretty good relationship. Things are going well. This is yeah. This is long term. This is, hopefully she's sticking around for a while. You better be sticking around for a while. And yeah, you're in a good place. Honestly, this This is not a bad thing to happen at all. Not at all. Now let's set up a different scenario. Let's say that you're with somebody and you want to go through this asset test ratio. So you say, all right, well, I really like hanging out with her. And, you know, I couldn't see myself dating anybody but her. And her dad likes me. And that's really all you can come up with, but you struggle to come up with one more. You don't know what it is. Maybe you think she's cute. All right, she's cute. But then you start to think about the liabilities. Her friends don't like me, and her mom doesn't like me. You think this is sufficient for mom? Nah, yeah, we better add one more. There's a lot of double standards in this relationship. This is a pretty toxic relationship. And then you kind of end there because one, you're in tears and you've soaked the page, but two, because you're really questioning your life decisions right now, which you absolutely should be. Because this asset test ratio, we got a 0.4 on this asset test scale. This is, oh no, 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 no. You're probably suffering from the sunk cost fallacy. This is no, 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 no. This is a bad relationship. You get out of this, you run. Have you heard the Slade song, Run, Run Away? That's exactly what you should be doing right now. That was designed for you. You walk like a man, you do whatever you have to, you get out of that relationship. This is not a good thing at all. A pretty good benchmark for this, if your relationship is sitting at a 1 in the asset test ratio, this is kind of like the line. That's where you're pretty much indifferent. If you're on the more than one side, you're doing all right. You're doing pretty well. This is something you probably should continue. If your asset test ratio is less than 1, you got to be looking at other places. If your asset test ratio is less than 0.5, you should have been looking for other things a long time ago. But if you can use this ratio to your advantage in this game called Relationomics, you're going to do all right. Thanks for watching. Stay salty. This is disgusting.